What's going on, all my business associates here tune in to another episode of Whiskey Business. My name's Jesse, and if you're new here, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. Here at Whiskey Business, I like to showcase all of the different whiskeys that the LCBO has to offer us Ontarians to help you save some coin on your next bottle purchase. Kind of let you know if the price is justified or if this will suit your flavor profile preferences. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into today's decapitation. So today, we've got Old Forester 1920. It's a pretty hard one to come by at the LCBO. Some locations will have it. It's very rare. This is not from there. The big bottle is. This is from a tasting set that I got up north, but it's same juice, smaller bottle, and I figured I'd rather open a smaller bottle first anyways, and yeah, so I've had this before. It's one of my favorite pours. I absolutely love Old Forester, or just Brown-Forman flavor profile in general. If you don't know what that is, think deep, rich, sweet caramels, banana, toffee, stuff like that. That's what I tend to get on these. From what I remember, 1920 neck pour. Last time I did Decapitation, which was quite a while back, back before my palate was super evolved, the neck pour was not very good. It was very medicinal, very cherry. We're gonna see if that's changed, because it has, like I said, become one of my favorite bottles as it did open up. So we'll see how the neck pour is this time around, now that my palate's evolved and my flavor preferences have changed. She have a nice pop. She's got a nice cork, or a real cork, I should say. Old Forester, man, with these cork pops too. I absolutely love their stuff. The most available Old Forester at the LCBO is the Old Forester 86. Unfortunately, we don't get the 100 proof. I really wish we did, because this, I think it's $34 at the LCBO. The best budget pour available, whether you're gonna be making some like bourbon chicken, some homemade barbecue sauce, or you're just looking for a lower proof kind of night, maybe a getting into a night of drinking pour. This, even though it's 86 proof, the flavors it has to offer, the nice rich caramel, I get such a deep, sweet bananas Foster on that nose and palate. It's easily one of my favorite bourbons, and it's literally the most available Old Forester product we have, and the cheapest. Like, I don't think there's another bottle under $40 on this bar that wows me like that. So yeah, that's about all I can really say about that. Let's get into the 1920 on the nose. So you've got that bananas Foster. You've got some real deep, rich cherry in there. A little bit of sultana raisin. Don't think I've gotten that before. Almost Scotch-like. Brown sugar, caramel. Lots of charred oak. Like lots of charred oak. Wow. Oh, if you didn't know, it's coming in at 115 proof, and that's 57.5% alcohol by volume. During Prohibition, Old Forester was bottled as medicinal whiskey at 117 West Main Street under Kentucky Permit number 3. The typical barrel proof at that time prior to bottling was 115. So yeah, this is their Prohibition style. If you didn't know, it's from the Old Forester Whiskey Row series, which consists of the 1910, the 1897, and possibly one more. There could be one more, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's not part of the whiskey roasteries. It smells super rich, gooey, sweet. There's a bit of a leathery note, like a mild leather, light leather, not like a super worn leather. Maybe even bridging into tobacco, fresh sweet tobacco onto the palate. Cheers. Comes in with some heat. Think spicy cherries. I meant more of like a warm spice, but now thinking about it, it's almost like a habanero cherry hot sauce. It's not spicy like habanero, but it's got that flavor profile of the habanero. Definitely sweet. The cherry is a very deep, dark Luxardo cherry. It's bridging into medicinal, like a Hall's cough drop on the palate. Just rich vanilla ice cream with lots of cherries on top. A little bit of caramel in there. As you get to the back of the palate and into the finish, it's just lots of warm spice. The proof comes out. Good Kentucky hug in there. It turns more of like a medicinal cherry into the finish. Think like a melted cough drop in some charred wood and spice. The palate has like a little bit of a figgy raisin to it as well, like something deep and dried. That leather tobacco note doesn't really follow through. So that's a damn good pour. And let's just mention that this rating is based on the neck pour alone. So take it with a grain of salt. As the bottle opens up, it could get better or worse. I mean, I know how I like this bottle once it opens up, but I like to give bottles a more fair review once they've had time to open up, once I've had time to sit with them alone for a little bit, and give you a more fair, honest review of the bottle, the price, and if I feel like it's justified and maybe whose palates it would suit. But I think if you like sweet bourbons, if you like that slightly medicinal cherry note of a Hall's cough drop, if you like vanilla ice cream with cherries, this would be your dram. There's nothing really nutty in here. It's just rich, fruity, and sweet. So if you don't like sweet pours, you're probably gonna want to stay away from this. But yeah, I think this would hold up well in a cocktail. As I've stated many times before, I don't do cocktails, but I think it would hold up nicely to a cocktail with the sweetness, the viscosity. It's one of the most aggressive bourbons for my salivary glands. Like it assaults my salivary glands and they just keep going and keep going. Like so good. I keep wanting to go back for another sip. It's dangerous almost. But yeah, let's get into the rating on this Decapitation. Okay, sorry, the video had cut out, but I'm sure you still hear the audio there. 1920 neck pour ratings. Nose is going to get a 90. I could smell it all day. I've said it before about other bourbons, but this is one of them. I could smell it all day. It's so good, so rich, so much depth, and just gives you so much anticipation for the palate, which follows through at a whopping 87. It's got the layers you want. It's got the richness. It's got all of the flavors that I know and love, minus the banana. If it had a banana, it would probably be up in the 90s. It's lacking on the banana that you typically get in Brown-Forman, so that's why it's at 87. Finish is going to get an 87. It's medium long, nice and warm, lots of spicing, lots of char. I really like that char, and then a nice sweetness to balance it out. The mouthfeel is going to get an 80. It's coating, it's slightly viscous, but it's not super oily, and it's a little bit lacking. I mean, for the proof, I will say. So yeah, just an 80 there. The average, which is based on the nose, palate, and finish, is going to be a flat 88. Very good, very solid for a neck pour, I will say. 1920 is a great pour. I would have expected nothing less, nothing more. So yeah, if you guys have had Old Forester 1920, is it your favorite Old Forester product? I would I'd like to know, what is your favorite? I honestly think the 1910 is my favorite now. I recently got it in the Whiskey Road tasting pack, which I have up there. It's so good. I think in a blind it would actually beat out the Woodford Reserve Double Oak, but 1910 isn't available here, whereas the Woodford Reserve Double Oak is. So I'm gonna be picking up that all the time, but 1910 when I can find it. But I think overall they're both very good double oak bourbons, and they just fit my flavor profile preference to a T. So let me know what your favorite Old Forester product is down below. And like I said, if you guys never tried the Old Forester 86, try it. I totally stand by it. If someone is not necessarily a sipper, someone that does shots, I like to give them something like that, you know, because it's something that they can sip, but they can also shoot it for the price. I mean, like $34 for a bottle. It's worth it, but I think the flavor is much better than like a Jack Daniel's number 8, something like that. But anyways, enough rambling. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this. I'd really appreciate if you subscribe, stay up to date with all my latest and greatest content, and it helps the YouTube algorithm when you comment any suggestions, feedback, anything you want down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all my recent posts, LCBO sales, and my pickups, follow me here on Instagram. Really appreciate that as well. I try to stay active on there. But yeah, that's going to do for today's decapitation of Old Forester 1920. Hope everyone is staying well and warm. This has been Whiskey Business, and I'm out. Cheers.